If you're a NASCAR addict to that PlayStation 3, you're going to love today's sponsor, nascarfan24dude. He does many videos involving NASCAR Heat 2002 and other various NASCAR games and uploads them on YouTube. Today's race, 85 degrees Fahrenheit from Moon Speedway. Steve Brown is the points leader. Chad Lindberner now has some momentum riding on his side after he was victorious in the last race right here at Moon Speedway. We'll see how that shapes out and as these drivers can battle these extreme track conditions. So get ready for some rough, ready racing. It's the feature event in the NASCAR Fan 24dude 500. Steve Brown is on the pole position in that fast Ford, Chad Lindberner in second place, and Bill Steinbach with a recently highly modified Chevy Chevelle. Get ready for some rough and ready racing. Three, two, one, go.
Full throttle towards turn number one, and Steve Brown up and into the air. Quite the wicked flip by that Ford Mustang. He will walk back out onto the track to place it on all four wheels and do a restart.
And that's the second time in only 4 races that has happened to that Ford Mustang. And we're already under green flag conditions on lap 2 as Brown takes the inside lane going around turn 1, and he'll have another flip. Everyone else wrecks, and they continue on moving as he landed right on his wheels. He still has the lead, and he'll have a dramatic bouncing wreck onto the passenger side door of that Ford. Yellow flag here on lap 3.
Bill coming around to take the bottom lane, but no, he'll give Steve quite a bit of a bump, and it's fender rubbing between Steinbach and Lindberner. Steinbach gets the short end of that stick, spinning out in turn 2. Steve Brown still leading this event as Lindberner follows him in second, but Bill Steinbach is coming out of turn number 4. That time he had the fastest lap on the track.
Yes, you can see also Lindberner, but although he cut that corner wide and he'll be in third place, we will have a yellow flag here on lap 7. Lindberner was definitely hot on that next lap after Steinbach had his amazing lap. Now he's doing some steering adjustments to his Chevrolet, and he'll take it off the track real quick, put it back on, and we'll have a green flag restart here in just a second. We're still under yellow conditions. Track maintenance team says, wait a second, we got to fix this cone.
The green flag is back out. Steinbach gets spun out on the front stretch. Yellow flag, lap 8.
He was just being bounced around by those 2 other drivers, and now the cone signifying the slowdown area during yellow conditions has fallen on that tire, and they'll finally fix it. And it looks like Steinbach has the middle lane. He has a jump and the lead, a very small marginal lead over Lindberner, but pushes him into the outside tire, and that'll give him more of a lead. And there's a battle for second here as we go around for lap 10 between Ford and Plymouth. And Chad Lindberner tries to cut Brown off, but it just doesn't work as Brown gets the inside lane quick enough. Ooh, and here's a penalty now for the red Chevy.
You can see him driving backwards through turn number 1. He comes up into traffic right in front of Chad, and that car turned to the left. Just barely a penalty, but it is a penalty, unfortunately, for Bill Steinbach, sitting at the start-finish line. He'll get a jump there, and that might not last long as he collects himself into the cone. He'll force Steve Brown up the racetrack into the backstretch tire wall. Lindberner has a mechanical failure on the back straightaway. He has fallen 1 lap down to leader Steve Brown. Bill's still on the lead lap, just in front of Steve Brown.
Yes, and that red Chevy is in second place. He's going to try to catch up to the back of the field, which includes all of right now Steve Brown. And he's catching up. He's about a quarter of a lap in front of the Mustang. Ooh, but the Ford cuts that corner tight, and he just cuts Steinbach off there. We have another penalty here as... Uh-oh, look at this. Brown has the same issue that Lindberner is having late in the season here. The tires and wheels cutting to the left there, and the axle actually popping out of the front of the car there.
So this time it's Steve Brown at the start-finish line. The rest of the field. Lindberner, what a jump there by that Plymouth. He'll go to work on the top side of the track, diamonding the corner. Bill Steinbach upside down in turn 3.
Yeah, that Plymouth took off like a rocket on that restart, and he's still cooking these laps here as we go around for 20. And look at Steinbach running out to fix his car, puts it on all the tires again, and continues on rolling. And look at this lead that Lindbruner has here. He just bounces off a tire, continues on rolling, and look how fast his car is today.
Things have seemed to have calmed down for most of the field. And right as I say that, there's a wreck in turn number 4 coming onto the front stretch. Bill Steinbach's antenna fell over on that Chevy. Now he will simply stand on the front stretch and we'll get a caution. Lap 25, Bill Steinbach actually flipped out of the track, out of turn number 2. Here it is again. Him and Lindbruner were side by side. He came right up across the racetrack, and that Chevelle went up on its lid, and it stayed there, did not go over after it went on its roof. He will come around now in the middle lane. The green flag is back in the air, and he will have the lead trying to hold off the rest of this field. He'll jump right in line between Lindbruner and Brown, and he'll try to take the lead from Steve Brown, but he'll spin out of turn number 2, and Lindbruner takes it away from Steve Brown. Quite the battle up front.
Yeah, Lindbruner does have the advantage now, though, as Brown hit the cone there in turn 1, but he's catching up, and he hits the cone again. A very bad issue for him here after that restart. And here we go for lap 30. Very few cautions in this race, mostly because a couple penalties and also just some good driving by these drivers. Right as I say that, though, we do have a yellow flag here on lap 31. Steinbach is going to come around and have the inside lane for this one as Brown chooses the outside lane, whereas Lindbruner will be in the center of the speedway. There it is, green flag. He hits the line, and he is in reverse, heading up towards turn 1, and he'll get his car finally turned around. Steinbach will. He'll take the outside of turn 3 and 4, and that doesn't allow him to catch up to Brown yet.
Lindbruner still holding on to the lead in that Plymouth. He'll lose it to Steve Brown as he goes outside of the track, and that will be the first of a possible 3 green-white checkered attempts.
Now watch this. Lindbruner has the same problem that Brown just had a few earlier laps that gave him that penalty. His tires and wheels cut to the left there, and you can see it. Steinbach spins out on his own. It looks similar, but it is not. That is a major mechanical failure of these cars. It just shows the wear and tear on these chassis over the season. Look at that slamming into the turn 1 cone where the camera is, and we have a final lap here.
Steve Brown has a comfortable lead over the field, but it's quite the battle for second place. Bill Steinbach will hold on to second as Steve Brown takes the victory and Chad Lindbruner in third place.
Lindbruner cut way too wide on that last lap going into turn number 3. Not a very good race for him. He had an awesome car, but he's just, I don't know what it is. He just did not race as well as he normally does in this event, and that'll give Bill Steinbach second place. And now this gives Brown a little more of a lead in the points over Steinbach, and we'll see if he can hold it off for the remainder of the season.
Incredible day of racing, and the next time you see us here on the Three Rivers RC Racing channel, there'll be road course racing from the Moon Speedway Road Course for the 4th and final time of the year. So get ready for some rough and ready racing.